Yo, what's up, people? Welcome to the United Community. We're back again today. Yeah, I was going to do a show last night, but early yesterday, really, but didn't have the time to do so. Yeah, I have really hectic few days. Last few days, it was a bit tough, really, home wise. Personal issues, and yeah, that's about it really. So couldn't do a show yesterday. Fortunately, why is my hair looking this? Need a haircut, really. So anyway, onto the show. Camavinga to Manchester United. Luke Shaw going in on Jose Mourinho again. Saul Niguez again linked to Manchester United. I mean, look, the guy since he was born, he was linked to Manchester United. So that's a load of bollocks again. And probably Jadon Sancho announced after the Euros. So we're gonna speak about all of those, and also Diogo Dalot, and talk about Diogo Dalot's performances and Bruno Fernandes. So let's start off first with how the Camavinga thing started healing up yesterday. So it was coming from Sacha Tavolieri. That's what I think it's pronounced. Now it was via MUFC MPP. The guy said Manchester United have a concrete interest in signing Eduardo Camavinga and have already engaged in talks with his agents. So that was the beginning on how it was starting to heat up about Manchester United wanting Camavinga. Now, look, my personal opinion on Camavinga, I haven't watched him really, but from the looks of it, I think he's a good player. I think he's a talent. I think he's like an next Jude Bellingham when he goes to another big club and shines like how Jude Bellingham shined. So I think that if Camavinga had a big move, like a move to Manchester United, I think it could be quite good because I mean, of course, you're not gonna like be sure because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer always says, "Oh, young player prospect, so I'm gonna bench him for a bit so that he can play in the Premier League." But like the only doubt that Camavinga wouldn't come to Manchester United is because of his price tag, and also because of the game time. You wonder why Jude Bellingham didn't come to Manchester United because what was offered him on the table was no guaranteed matches, which is why he went to Borussia Dortmund and did his thing. Now he's one of the best midfielders for me. Like the guy is absolutely brilliant. But anyway, going back to Jude Bellingham, Camavinga, price tag 40 million, which is around 49-50 million euros. That's about it, really. So we'll see what happens with Camavinga. Now, after that, yesterday as well, Mohamed Bahafsi, who is a French journalist, or not a like he's involved in the French league, he's come out and said Manchester United have officially expressed interest in Eduardo Camavinga. United will even meet his entourage next week to convince him to join Manchester United, but PSG remains the priority of the player. He would like to stay in France. Of course, he's a French player and wants to stay in France and wants to play in PSG. I mean, no offense to the kid, but if you want game time, then I think Manchester United would be better placed than PSG. Like what PSG got? They've got Daniel Pereira. They've got what's his name? Verratti. They've got Paredes. They've got Ander Herrera. They've got lots of good midfielders, but where's the game time for Camavinga? Like I understand he's one of the great products like Jude Bellingham, but I don't think he could find his game in PSG. To be honest, I don't think that he could like play week in week out, and for me he would find better game time. Like actually, I think with that midfield in PSG, I think he would play more in PSG than Manchester United. When you look in last season, Donny van de Beek, he should have been giving have been given game time loads of times, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer kept on with the McFred thing, and that affected Donny van de Beek. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think God, like, if he's gonna come, you're gonna have to play him because the guy is a good tackler. From what I've seen, he's a good tackler, tenacious, can drive the ball forward, and much better I think from than Fred and McTominay. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But people have been saying like, oh, that might be a Pogba replacement. It might be, but I think that like Pogba is irreplaceable. His long balls and his holding play in the midfield, like there's no better than Paul Pogba. I would do anything for him to stay, but I think that Paul Pogba's gonna run his contract and uh, gonna leave because of money, and I think he doesn't see any ambition in this football club that Manchester United is gonna be successful in the league and in Champions League. So the second thing I wanted to say as well on Camavinga. Camavinga's price tag is 40 million. He had Paul Pogba 1 year left on his contract as well as Camavinga, who has 1 year left on his contract, is 50 million or 40 million. So how are you gonna sell one of the best midfielders in the world for 40 and 50 million when Eduardo Camavinga, who is still a young prospect and plays in the French league and 18 years of age, for 40 and 50 million, the same price tag as Paul Pogba? Can somebody explain that to me, please? Because that shows how our football club is really shit. This shows how our board is crap. Like, I, I'm disgusted, really. I tweeted a few days ago that like Jadon Sancho saga has been going on for 2 years. Is somebody still excited about Jadon Sancho? And the only thing I'm excited about Jadon Sancho is him being on the pitch. Like uh, we already know that we signed Jadon Sancho. Why are we excited about signing him? Like, come on, be a big football club for once. Like, come on, and on like be a big football club by signing Jadon Sancho. Like, if you're gonna sign a midfielder and you're linked to Camavinga, then fine, and get Varane. If you get those three, then we're seriously talking about Premier League titles and Champions Leagues. So we're gonna see what happens next season. But next season is gonna be the decider for the entire club, for the board, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coaches, and the players. So we'll see what happens with that. So back to Kamavinga. Um, Mohamed Bahafsi goes on saying that Manchester United are trying to convince him, Kamavinga, to join the club, while his priority, as we said, was to join PSG and continue his progress in France. PSG are still in the race and are waiting for the player's price to drop. So PSG are waiting for the price to drop. Like 40 million for me is too expensive, too expensive for a 18-year-old. But he looks like, by this price tag, I think he looks good. I think he might be Jude Bellingham, like, I guess. So we'll see what happens with that. And after that, Muhammad Bahafsi also comes out and says after like few hours, and he says that Manchester United have already started discussions with Edouard Camavinga's entourage. Another meeting is scheduled for mid next week between Manchester United and the players' entourage. So Manchester United looks like they're seriously interested. And from the looks of it, I think Mohamed Bahafsi is quite a credible journalist. I mean, he broke out that Manchester United were interested in Bad Shield last season, but we didn't get him, or looks like we weren't really interested. But uh, he's a credible journalist. Loads of people talk about him. Um, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Camavinga. But there was another one. There was another tweet about Edouard Camavinga. Let me just check it out. Uh, so yeah, the after then that's come from the Mail Sport. They're saying that Manchester United have made contact with Rennes over Eduardo Camavinga. Further talks are planned with Rennes as well as Camavinga's representatives this week. So it's basically repeating what Mohamed Hafsi said about Eduardo Camavinga. So would I welcome him to Manchester United? Of course, he's a midfielder. He's a really great prospect. I think he would prove the midfield. Like, he's not a CDM. I don't think he's a CDM, but I think he's a better tackler, better on the ball, can drive the ball forward, and can take the ball from the back to the front. Unlike McTominay and Fred, because both two, my God, their passing is dreadful, to be honest. Yet, I think McTominay will be a great CDM next season because of how well he played the last couple of games. I mean, we criticize McTominay too much, but when we look at it, I think at the end of the season, McTominay has been one of the best players, better than Bruno, better than Cavani. Like, not better than Cavani, but he was up there. He was up there for the club, and in the final, yet again, he was man of the match. So I think we're sleeping a bit on McTominay or criticizing him too much, but. Sign a midfielder, yes, 100%. We need to replace Nemanja Matic. Like, usually big clubs have two CDMs and have in each position like two to fight for. We don't have it. We have Matic, we have McTominay, we have Fred, we have Donny, we have Paul. Now, can somebody explain me who are the center defensive midfielders apart from Matic? I mean, in all his eyes, he can see, oh, Freddie, McTominay. Um, yeah, it's just sad, ain't it? So for me, it's only Matic, and always trying to turn McTominay into the next Michael Carrick, which he isn't, because Michael Carrick was something else. But you know what? Let's see what happens next season. But next season is gonna be decided for Ole and the midfield, and as I said, the entire club. If he still plays McFred, then it's sad, to be honest, and I think he should go. If he doesn't win any trophy next season, then I think it's also a bye bye, because we haven't won trophies in a while. Like, we've been 3 years dry of trophies. So we're gonna see what happens with that, but I fear that Ole is gonna persist with McFred. But if he brings Camavinga, why don't you play Camavinga and Paul Pogba, and rotate the squad? And I don't know. Like, the thing is, we've got Donny van de Beek. I don't know where he's gonna play, because when you get McTominay, Fred, who's his name? McTominay, Fred, Paul, Camavinga, and Donny. You've got five midfielders, and it's always in all his eyes. McTominay and Fred are better. So where would he play? For me, he would play instead of Fred or McTominay. If you can play Camavinga and Donny van de Beek, because he's a bit defensive, Camavinga. So you can play Donny van de Beek as well with Camavinga. You can't play Van de Beek and Paul Pogba in the same midfield. Um, you can play Camavinga and Paul. You can play Camavinga as Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay either is go forward or is back defensive, or vice versa with Camavinga. And yeah, I think Camavinga works with everybody really. So if we sign him, I will definitely welcome him at Manchester United, and definitely would be happy that we signed a midfielder. So let's talk about Luke Shaw again with Jose Mourinho. Now, look, I'm getting a bit tired of it, to be honest, because as a player, when you criticize a manager, that applies more pressure on you, because like when you talk shit about him, sorry for the language, when you talk shit about him, and when you have a bad performance, it's like, oh, see, I told you. Now, I don't like this pressure for Luke Shaw, but he's got a point. Like, Jose Mourinho has treated him like an absolute garbage and not a player in the squad, unlike Ole, who like made him part of the squad. So Luke Shaw like has the right to criticize the manager of how badly he treated him. Yet I don't think he should talk too much about the manager of how bad he treated him. So let's read some quotes. So Luke Shaw on Jose Mourinho's criticism. I don't really understand it, to be honest. I don't know why he's still going on and wanting to point at me. Um, I don't feel like the set pieces were as bad as he was saying. I might have done one in the second half, a corner that didn't get over the first man, but that was one out of three. I'm used to him saying negative stuff about me now, so I just pass it by. I leave it. I leave it be. I ignore it. I just focus on what the coaching staff say here, what Gareth Southgate says, and that's that really. So, so every like Jose Mourinho's ego, like he doesn't want to be proved wrong, is he? Like in the past, he said like Luke Shaw was fat, and when he performed well, he said Luke Shaw performed well with his body, but in Jose Mourinho's brain. So Jose Mourinho always wants to be proven right. I think that his ego in criticizing Manchester United is still there. If it like who would believe Jose Mourinho criticizing Luke Shaw? Like who would believe Jose Mourinho that Luke Shaw's crap and shit this like that? He's one of the best left backs in Europe for me, or if not the best. So so it's kind of sad, to be honest. Like the guy was one of the best managers in the world, but as a talking man, as a psychological manager, he's quite good. Like when I watched the Amazon Prime movie about Jose Mourinho, he was incredible. But a tactician, yeah, okay, he was good, of course. That's Jose Mourinho, but his style of play was the style that he's still playing now. Like the mother game has moved on. Like play attacking football, like the defensive crap. It's done. It's done and dusted. Like the fans have a big impact in that as well. What like when you have an attacking team, it like the fans start to chant for the attacking. If you know what I mean, the attacking team always gets more emotions, more desire that they're gonna score, and the defensive team like, oh, like, are we gonna hold on for much longer? And I don't think in the modern game football that's it really. So like anyway, Jose Mourinho is still in Roma. I think he's gonna do well in Roma. Is he gonna actually do well in Roma? I think he can. I think he can, because it's Syria. It's one of the slowest, if not the slowest league in the world. Not in the world, like in the top 5 leagues. So yeah, Jose Mourinho is gonna do well in Roma, because this league is defensive and it's slow and it suits him really. So we're gonna see how well Jose Mourinho does in Roma. So Luke Shaw goes on saying he just needs to move on. Hopefully, he can find his peace with that and finally move and stop worrying about me. Clearly, I'm in his head a lot, and he clearly thinks about me a lot. Now that's a bullet in the head, really. Like when you say that the manager is still in his head, like, and he just needs to move on and find peace with him. And I think Jose Mourinho should shut up really and start thinking about himself and his children more than Luke Shaw. So like Jose Mourinho still wants to be proven right about Luke Shaw, about how crap he was and why he benched him, and wants to find an excuse for how badly he treated him. Um, so I think Luke Shaw's right there, but still, like Luke, come on. If he's still in his head, what? Why? I know, I get that he was asked the question, but why? Why just leave that question? Like you criticized him before, and you said how bad treat about how bad God, how bad he treated him. Got mixed up there, and like you said a couple of times, why should you repeat yourself? Like just so don't talk about him, and he won't be in your head. So yeah, that's about Luke Shaw really, and I really like I really like the like the Mirror Sport like the cover paper news of the Mirror Sport like Mourinho is obsessed with me, from Luke Shaw, one of Luke Shaw quotes. Um, I think the English media need to move on really with Jose Mourinho and Luke Shaw and Jose Mourinho, as Luke Shaw said, should find peace between each other and move on. So yeah, that's about it really. Um, so that's really on Camavinga and Naji and Sancho. Want to sneeze there. Sorry. So that's Luke Shaw and Camavinga. So we've got also news on Diogo Dalot. That's coming from Fabrizio Romano from one of his podcasts, saying that Diogo Dalot's still the priority for AC Milan. Now the problem with AC Milan Manchester United is that AC Milan want a dry loan, and and Manchester United want to sell him. They just want to get rid of him. Clearly, Ole doesn't rate Diogo Dalot. I think Diogo Dalot last night played well, but I don't know why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really doesn't rate him. I think he's a good player. I think if he gets a run of games, I think he would be quite decent. He played well with AC Milan last season. I thought he was pretty good, and I think attacking wise, he's so much better than Anaran Basaka, and if the coaches are actually good and make him better, then I think he could get better defensively. So if Diego Dalot's given a chance, then I think he could get better and might take Anaran Basaka's place. That we still got Brandon Williams, and we might get Trippier. So we'll see what happens with the right back, but Diego Dalot for me, like he's a good player, but Ole doesn't rate him. So we're gonna have to move on with that. So also Di Marzio said about Diego Dalot and AC Milan that AC Milan want to conclude a deal for the return of Diego Dalot next week. In the event Milan fail to finalize the return of Dalot, there is an open speech for Alvaro Adriozola, who's probably the chief executive of AC Milan. So we'll see what happens with that. But Diogo Dalot, if he goes like 50 million in our pockets, that would boost our transfer funds and would help us get our transfer targets right back, and right back, CDM, and center back, I guess. So and that's about it, really. We forgot to say something about Camavinga as well. Mohamed Bahafsi came out also today and said that Elwar Camavinga's agent came to Neves and went to Rennes and informed them about Manchester United's interest on Manchester United interest in Manchester United interest in Camavinga. Don't know why I get mixed up there. And also he said like on the 100 million euros fee demand by Rennes for Camavinga, who has one year left on his contract. It's non-negotiable, and it's a negotiation tactics by the French club to get a maximum fee. It's a negotiation tactic. So there was reports coming out saying like he's 100 million euros and things like that. Yet it's a negotiation tactic. Mohamed Bahafsi said. So if we get what would be a successful transfer window for me, it would be Sancho. If we get Camavinga, that would be great. Varane and probably and possibly a right back. Now I would prioritize CDM over right back. So we're gonna see what happens with that. And on Jadon Sancho, I think is gonna be get announced once England lose. Probably, if they don't lose against Germany, then after they lose in the next round, or probably won't. Like if they win Germany, then it's an easy path to the semifinals, really. So if they lose, then I think Jadon Sancho will be announced in the next 4 to 5 days. So we'll see what happens with that. So that's the show, really. Please smash the like button, subscribe. If you got any questions, tuck it in. Got a minute to check the news. If there's anything, and if there's any questions, tuck it in. Um, Oh, so right now, the men have came out and said Manchester United have not made progress on a move for Kane Trippier. So look, Kane Trippier for me, like Atletico Madrid have priced him out, and I don't think that we're not gonna get him, to be honest. So we're gonna see what happens with that. So thank you guys for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe, share the video. I want to get 10 subscribers at least this month. Please. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Peace out.